sitting down right now here on Radio Row. Two of
we
my
got
favorite
two
guys.
at the same time.
Two of my favorite people. Kyle Turley, who gave me some new product right now. He didn't have any. Last year, he brought some gummies.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo Neal.
You come with no bearing any gifts?
I did. I just gave them some gifts.
Now, are these like little mini cigars? Are they like cigarillos? What are these things?
Yeah, that's what those are.
I have smoked these?
Yeah.
God, bro, let's get them in.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine. I was just with that guy, Big Mike. He's out there in L.A. He's got a huge company, and we got his products in my retail coming up here. We're opening the 1st of March, and a little gift for you, you know.
Now, last year, Kyle Turley
Don't tell
brought in
nobody.
some edibles, and he's big. I know, obviously, CBDs and cannabis and all that stuff is big now. And it's not just to get high. I mean, there's a lot of good benefits to it. Now, Lorenzo, all the athletes know now you don't need this stuff to get high.
No.
It's all the benefits of without the high. But you gave me some edibles
Gummies,
last year.
I think, I brought last year.
I'm thinking, all right, and so you didn't tell me not to take the whole gummy. Because I don't smoke weed. I don't do any of that stuff. I drink, but I don't smoke anymore, and I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
And so my buddy Harry Mays took one.
Yeah.
And let's just say that Harry
is a connoisseur of
yes.
cannabis.
Yes.
The real stuff. So when he did the gummy, he did the whole thing, and it didn't affect him.
Yeah.
I did the whole one and shoot it.
Yeah.
I was like
Zoning.
You
cheap
gave him good stuff?
I gave him CBD.
Oh,
it was CBD.
Yeah.
But
a
Tony
gummy, and I was
never
like
does
Cheech
anything.
and Chong the rest of the show. Man.
That's what he's telling me. I'm like, wow.
He wasn't high.
I'm gonna put
but
that
he was
testimonial.
so chill.
So
He
chill.
was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have started
And
playing some smooth
the thing
jazz,
that was really
man.
great
Yeah.
is that our board op last year, he suffers from major anxiety. And so this type of situation is very hard for
He
him.
wasn't just
And
our board op. It's our partner,
yes,
Luigi,
but
who's
he
not
would,
here this year.
but they would remember him as.
Right.
And he tried some, and his anxiety just went.
Yeah.
He just all of a sudden calmed down. He goes, "Wow, this
Yeah.
is awesome."
Very real.
It is, and I know everyone's like, oh, Curly, when you think about Cal, what he's been doing, people don't understand the different benefits, and people think, okay, you're smoking it. No, you could not just smoke, but it's just like most of it's just sometimes even with the drops. I mean, people take liquid, and it helps for tumors. It's known for different types of deal. Kids that suffering from Darvettes, seizures disorders, so many things that CBD has done. UCLA and USC, some of these institutions now, they're in the form of pharmaceuticals into these things. So now you're looking at how something that's been demonized so many years demonized, now it's showing all the health benefits of CBD, and it comes from a hemp plant. If you smoke it, you can't get high. So people they just haven't been informed. So it's awesome that I think that so many people now are getting informed about what CBD and the health benefits that it has for everyone.
Yeah.
The great Lorenzo Neal, now a big radio star in San Francisco. I knew him one of the great fullbacks, and now we're starting to see some fullbacks come back into the league now.
Yeah,
not many.
Yeah,
not many.
San Francisco, they know about that fullback.
Right.
I'll tell you that now. Cal Juszczyk, that's my man.
Yeah,
Number 44 in your program, number 1 in your heart. I'm going to tell you all about him. That's right.
Yeah.
Woo, I'm fired up.
Lorenzo
Put me in the game, Coach. Put me in the game.
Lorenzo works
CBD's real.
He works with my boy Dan Dibley on the morning show at
Yes.
95.7 The Game. There's another guy on there who's pretty good, too, that Joe
Joe
Fortenberg.
Fortenberg. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Because you talk about a guy whose star has risen quickly, man.
Yeah.
He's
Joe,
on
yeah.
everywhere, man.
Yeah,
he knows
is.
his gambling. He knows
He
his
does.
football picks. He knows his fantasy. You guys are just players, man. And I just like just players. But you guys have transcended it now. So you're obviously doing well, and you love the radio business.
Sure, I'll
Now,
enjoy
Kyle,
it.
you're not doing any regular broadcasting, are you?
No, I'm spread too thin, man. I can't commit. You can't commit to a project, man. I got to get everywhere.
Right.
I
Everyone
gotta
wants him.
spread this message and continue to do this. Talking about a potential podcast opportunity now that we're in the podcast world.
Oh, wow.
This thing's transitioned. I think somebody called it here the podcast row now. It's not radio row
Well,
anymore.
we're on Twitch.tv.
we're on Twitch. Hey,
we're on the front
Yeah.
page of Twitch.
What?
We're the only Twitch show
How
live
do I
here.
look? How do I look right
great,
now?
man. People all over the world.
What's up, everybody?
Chiming in.
All the billions out there. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Exactly.
They're everywhere.
No, fullbacks are, and when you're good, you can sell product when you're a full. When you're Lorenzo Neal and you were a stud player in the NFL at fullback, it's funny because we were talking to Brian Mitchell, and Brian Mitchell
Mitch,
was
love
one
him.
of the second most yards ever.
Yeah.
Right. So all-purpose yards,
Right.
and not in the Hall of Fame. And I know Deion Sanders this morning talked about, we're putting too many people into the Hall of Fame in the NFL. Because there's the debate about Eli Manning now that he's retired. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he not? And so you have to look around and see, is it about yards? Is it about Super Bowls? Is it about longevity? Is it about being a 2-time Super Bowl MVP? And those are all the things that people like to argue about. But I love what the NFL does because they put at least 5 players in every year, unlike baseball where they just want to put 2 people or 1 person in every year. And you guys are walking ambassadors. The players like you guys are walking around, and the Hall of Famers, you always have that. You got that jacket on. You sign football's HOF on there. Once you put the HOF on.
Money.
Exactly. Then you can sell even more cannabis products.
Exactly. Yeah, Terrell Davis, he's out here doing it now. He's got a company out here doing it with.
It's amazing. And the good thing is there's no stigma anymore. I mean, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if professional athletes were promoting cannabis, they would say, "Oh man, that guy's a stoner, man. That guy's just into dope."
Right.
Yeah.
Now, cannabis saved your life,
That's what
right?
they said. That's who I was for the last decade. Lo and I've been at this for a while, and we've been talking about this for a long time. You can go see a Vice series I recorded and did with Vice called "Chasing Strains." Lo's in that. We've been up in Colorado. Yes. We've really tracked this down because of our experience. The experience and being able to show up and be in front of everyone and them to see this transition of where we've come from, and that the best guys that are having this life after football are guys that are talking about cannabis. And so it's been this amazing thing to be a part of, to be able to sit here now and go, sweet, I can get back to my life because I'm not the only one talking about it. It's pretty
you're
cool.
Absolutely right. It's totally. And now I think CBD oil is now more valuable than regular petroleum oil.
Yeah.
We used to. You got to find a place that you could pump a well and then get CBD oil to come from the ground, right?
Yeah. You're absolutely right. People are using it now for their sports cream. Did you know also guys are using it? There's creams that you can absolutely rub on your body for inflammation and doing all these different things. I just kind of blown away by it. I was never a guy that that smoked marijuana. Never been that. It's no big deal if guys do or nothing. It's not. I don't judge or anything because I think it's you look at. Have you seen anybody on marijuana run a red light or go kill? I mean, it's usually those guys who drink alcohol has caused more death. There's so many things that people demonize it. So I look at it and I just start looking at the health benefits. And the reason why I even got in that space, I have 2 beautiful twin daughters, and one of them suffers from diabetes. And I when you'll do anything as a parent for the welfare of your cat, and whatever you must do in order for them to, you see your daughter having seizures and 20, 30, 40 seizures a day, and you're helpless. You can have all the money in the world, and if you can't get health, what is it?
Exactly.
What
I remember reading the story. This was years ago before it became mainstream. That family that moved to Denver just because their state would not allow them to give this life-saving oil to their child.
Thousands of families now have moved there. We met. We worked with a great group, the Realm of Caring. Great group that's out there that deals with families and those transitions and how to advise in their situation of dealing with their kids. We were witness to meeting all these amazing kids that had these serious medical issues, and they're being recovered through cannabis. It's amazing to see, and it exposes the truth. This is not about this plant. This is about our cannabinoid system, and that we uniquely share in this room and around the world this thing that speaks to this plant, that this plant speaks to it and connects us. And if people understand the science of why this is working, and that it is not about this plant and this reefer madness, that surrounds it. This is about our true health and wellness. Then we can get to the bottom of a lot of things.
And the other thing that people keep forgetting is like almost all of our medications, other than more recent ones, which have a lot of chemical whatevers, but most of our meds for the last hundreds of years have been plant-based.
Exactly.
Like, where do you think we got aspirin?
Where were we before opiates? Alive?
Hello?
Yes.
We were alive?
Guys, I know you guys are busy today, and we got a lot of people coming around.
Absolutely.
But you got a new place. You're in Moreno Valley, California now, right?
I live in Riverside. It's Woodcrest. It's West Moreno Valley at the hills. But I grew up in a town called Moreno Valley. I got my retail opening up. I finally won a license. I fought all the city councils all over Southern California, and all the madness that's been from the desert to Long Beach, and finally ended up in my hometown. Got a retail opening here the 1st of March in the full plant, so that this can fully be exposed. To my CBD company, NeuroXPF.com, you can go punch in Super 20, get a 20% discount, and order CBD to your house directly. I started this because this conversation needed to change and put this in the sports context and in this palatable, message and products that speak more to health and wellness, and you can experience this if you give it the time and take it every day. You'll see, even just through CBD, without THC, without any of it, just this one extraction can give you that base level, and then you start talking about everything else.
The package that you gave out last, what's your company called again?
NeuroXPF.
NeuroXPF. But now there's GoShango.com.
GoShango.com on the full plant. Some big conglomerate that's out there in all states.
Well, I took one of the little pills, the
gel caps.
And I slept so fantastically. And it wasn't. I didn't like. Sometimes you take sleeping aids and then you wake
groggy
up and
the
you
next
get
day.
I had the best night's sleep.
Good for you.
And it was wonderful. So I need to order some.
Take it every day, and you'll start to see that benefit can increase, and that will turn into this to another thing that you see a benefit in, to another thing you see a benefit in. It's not about this plant. It's about turning on your cannabinoid system that I have found in using this the right way, where I have literally replaced every pharmaceutical I've ever been on and have an application for that, from anti-inflammatories to sleep aids to painkillers, which is not real, it's pain management, to psych medications. No one with a traumatic brain injury should be taking any synthetic pills or anything, period, that's synthetic. This has a neuroprotective patent that is attached to this by the U.S. government. And I'm sorry, but we don't need more research.
No.
If you've got a patent, I'm pretty sure for the thing that you've been telling everybody makes your brain like fried eggs, that you did some studies before you filed that.
Well,
guys,
we thank you for
it's always
helping
great
get
to
the
see
word
Kyle. I
out.
yell at him all the time, but he gave me another little cigarillo thing here. What's
Now, that's the real deal. So you're going to have to try it.
Motivator, right?
Yeah,
that's
a
real
difference in strains right there. Okay, this is the real deal, and I shouldn't be giving that to you. And there's a lot of guys around here that could say, "Oh, you can't have that."
Wait!
But,
I want him to smoke this one.
Make sure
This
you don't
is
go
called
home with that. I don't know the TSA.
Sensation.
There you go. They all do something different. There's over 300 strains in the marijuana plant, over 100 different strains in the hemp plant, and they all do something different.
Well, I'll try it tonight later on when I want to relax.
There you go.
When I'm back in the condo.
Thank you.
Going to rewind the
Turley,
clock.
the great Lorenzo Neal. You can hear him every day in San Francisco on 95.7 The Game with J-Lo, Dibbs, and that other guy.
Who's winning? You got
I'm
to
asking you. I need a pick real quick.
Chiefs.
I
played for the Chiefs, but come on, man. With the role they've been on in this playoff run to get to the Super Bowl, they've shown that they can go anywhere with this team.
Yeah, it's always interesting because they say if you can run and you can run the ball and play good defense, you usually win. Kansas City is an exception to the rule. They can play basketball on the grass like anyone. No team's ever done. But the Niners too much defense. Kansas City Chiefs hasn't seen a defense front four like this, and the red zone is going to be the telling tale who wins. Niners win because when the Chiefs get into the red zone, the Niners have an extra goal line, which is the end zone, and now they can't run through zones. I like Niners. It's going to be a good game.
See, we got two sides. We got two sets.
Yeah, we do.
These guys played the game. They know the game, and now they have it all figured out. Guys, great to see you, man.
It's going to be red. I know that.
Exactly right.